Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at consumer transparency, and we're going to do it through the lens of a product called the KittyKrisp Toaster.
Hmm.
The claim is that it turns regular cat food into a crunchy treat.
Right. But we should be really clear here. We are not reviewing the toaster itself.
No, not at all.
Our goal is to use the source material to analyze the marketing claims and the communication practices
Yeah.
around it. We're sticking only to the verifiable facts.
Exactly. And one last thing before we jump in, our mandatory disclaimer. This is educational commentary and not medical advice. Okay, let's unpack this. The first thing that really stood out from the sources was the product's visual identity. The images,
Hmm.
they were repeatedly flagged as potentially being AI generated.
And what's so fascinating about that choice
Yeah.
is what it signals to a buyer.
Right.
Using synthetic visuals, it's not just about, not having a good camera.
Mhm.
You're marketing a perfected concept that might not match the physical item you actually get.
So you're managing expectations from the very beginning.
You are. It kind of establishes a lack of transparency right from that first glance. The company's showing you this ideal version, not the real thing that's going to show up at your door.
And if the visuals are already a bit questionable, you've got to make sure people don't think twice before clicking buy.
Mm-hmm.
Which is where the sources really started highlighting these high-pressure tactics, things like 50% off Black Friday, free delivery, and that constant little banner saying, last pieces available.
Yeah, these are just classic urgency and scarcity strategies. They're all about psychological drivers.
Right.
If you look at the wider world of direct-to-consumer sales, the goal is often a non-reflective purchase. You want people to act now, think later.
So you create that artificial scarcity.
Exactly. You tap into loss aversion.
Mhm.
The idea that people are, more motivated by avoiding a loss like missing the deal than by actually getting the product.
But I guess my question is, isn't some of that just standard practice now for online stores?
Mhm.
Where's the line between a normal sale and something that feels deliberately manipulative?
That's a great question. And I think the line becomes a lot clearer when you look at the whole operational footprint,
Okay.
which brings us to accountability. Let's say the pressure works, you buy it, and now you need support. Well, the sources highlighted a near total blackout on that front.
A blackout.
Yeah. No email, no chat, no phone number. They couldn't even find a physical address.
Wow. That's more than just bad customer service. That feels like a deliberate strategy to be insulated.
It absolutely does. When you see a total absence of contact information, it suggests the business is only set up for one-way transactions.
To take the money.
Right. And it leaves you, the consumer, asking a really important question. If there's no way to reach them, how can you possibly verify their legitimacy or stability? The whole thing is designed to be untraceable after the sale.
And that lack of external proof, that carries right over into the feedback, doesn't it?
It does.
The product website itself had all these super polished and unusually positive testimonials, but the sources found a complete absence of independent validation.
No Trustpilot, no Reddit discussions, no third-party feedback at all.
So you only hear the good news from the company selling it.
And that's the final piece of this structural defense. There's a huge difference between internal testimonials the brand can control and, actual independent verification.
It's an echo chamber.
It's a total echo chamber.
Mm.
Without any external input, you have to rely 100% on the brand's own marketing. There's no way to cross-reference their claims with real customer experiences.
So what does this all mean when we put it together? This deep dive really focused on these key factors for evaluating consumer transparency.
Visual authenticity, that manufactured sales pressure.
The complete lack of accountability, and then this need for independent verification.
At the end of the day, reliability in today's market is built on verifiable information and, frankly, open communication. When a company uses synthetic visuals, high-pressure tactics, and builds a structure to avoid all accountability, the consumer is forced to take a much bigger leap of faith.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you. In a marketplace so dominated by direct-to-consumer sales, how do you, as a sophisticated buyer, balance the promise of slick marketing with the absolute necessity of independent sourced evidence before you decide to make a purchase?